Doug over at Detail It has a great question for me. He asked, hey Bob, would the Mezzo valve be usable with the silencer foam nozzle that I have? The Mezzo valve is this thing right here. This is what I use normally to hold 2 foam cannons. This is a great way to do touchless washes using 2 foam cannons at the same time. Step 1, step 2, you get your pH shock and then you rinse off and get a good touchless wash. This thing is nice because it holds the 2 at the same time. You select between the 2 with these buttons. Now what Doug's asking is very interesting and something I haven't done yet. The silencer. Now the silencer is, I got it. I'm gonna be playing with this too. MTM Hydro gave me this SGS 35. It's an all stainless steel trigger with a built-in swivel. We're gonna see how this all works. So normally, the foam cannon Doug's asking about would mount right here. That's why I call it the silencer, right? I mean, it kind of looks like one. And I was curious if maybe I'd get arrested. I was just kind of wondering. The foam injector would be back at the power washer, so there's no canister on this, which is really nice. But you'd have to take this off and put on your rinse nozzle to turn off the foamer. So what I'm curious to see now is what Doug was asking is, can this be used with this? Now, obviously, yeah. I mean, this is just, all this is a splitter. So you could do this and then you'd have your nozzle over here. This is a little overkill in this layout though. There's another format to this Mezzo valve that I'm gonna show you guys and how to mod this into a little better design if you're gonna do something like this, where you use this kind of foam cannon with maybe a normal rinse lance. Let's take this thing apart and I'll show you some tricks. All right, so for this, we're just gonna need a pair of channel locks, some pliers, Loctite 243, and a little Teflon tape. So Doug sent this picture of how he was curious to do it. This is an alternative layout, a quick disconnect on one of the ports instead of the 2 pipes. So I'm gonna show you how to mod this real quick. It's literally as simple as just taking off one of these pipes and putting one of these 1/4-inch male pipe thread connects on the other side. I'm gonna take off the side with the handle because I don't want it 2 handles. So what I wanna do is I wanna hook up a wand to the other side and then have the foam nozzle here. And then we can have a stubby version with the foam nozzle here and a rinse nozzle here. So I think that'll be kind of neat, but I don't think I'm gonna need the side handle for that. So I'm gonna take off this side. So I'm spanning both pipes with 1 wrench and then I've got my channel locks on the other. And yep, that works. Yeah. Take that handle off of there. Interesting, huh? You wouldn't even think it actually works though, look at that. Alright, this is a new Mezzo I grabbed from out back, but I'm still using the original one that MTM Hydro sent me to test, which was a while ago now. Mine has a brass piece here, and I'm just really glad that they switched that out for this beefier. I think it's probably a plated material, but it's really nice. And there is some brass in this shuttle valve here. You can see it on the inside when you zoom in. It is a brass valve here. But like I said, mine's been holding up for a long time now. I mean, literally since I started filming in here like a year ago. Just throw some Teflon tape on there. Otherwise, you're gonna find that it's gonna spray everywhere. On stainless fittings, I like to use Loctite 243. Now this is overkill doing both, but heck man, I mean, why not, you know? And we'll just thread that right on there and we'll be good to go. Make them hexagons nice and square to something. You just pick something. There's a nice flat surface here, so we make it flat there, you know? MTM doesn't do that so much. This one's a little bit crooked. I don't know. Maybe we can fix that while we're here, you know? Okay. Now we're square. Cannot be having them crooked fittings, man. But you wouldn't want to put this at the end of a lance. I see people doing that from time to time with the 2 cannon layout where they're like out here and then like, even this is only a 2-foot wand, but that's heavy even before putting the cannons and the liquid in the cannons. Don't do that, man. That's not the idea. You gotta have a smart layout. Do it like this instead. All right, so you get this here. Now you've got a couple different options. The way MTM Hydro markets this is with the PF22. So you would put the PF22 here, and then you've got your rinse nozzle here, and then you can switch in between the rinse and the foam. The problem with this is that this is heavy. When there's liquid in this, it's, you know, it's like, why would you do that when you could just take it off and put the nozzle right here? Where I do think this thing would be kind of interesting is with a lightweight nozzle. So now soap is being injected back at the power washer and you can rinse this side or foam this side and that turns on and off your soap. Now it seems manageable because when you go back to rinse mode, it's not bothering you, you know, like I just feel like having the PF22, the way it swings around and like, this is clean, you know, or you could even do it like this. That's kind of neat. I could get down with this, foam on top, rinse on bottom. Here's another interesting approach. What if we put this right here and then we put a rinse lance here? So there's actually a point to this thing. You know, this is pretty manageable. The foam would shoot to the side of this thing. You can switch back and forth right here. Rinse, foam, rinse, foam. Let's just play around with this and see how it looks. I'm gonna wash my Jeep. We'll see how all of this goes. All right, so this is my normal lance here. I'm just gonna unhook this so that I can use my big ceiling boom up there. and this power washer. So this is a good size power washer. A big key to the good foam on one of these types of injectors, whether it be the single injector. This is the dual injector, right? This allows me to select between the two steps, 1 and 2. That's the only difference between this one and the normal silencer injector, which would be an ST160 from Suttner. These types of injectors like a bigger power washer. They like them at least 3 gallons per minute. This one's 3.5, this one that I normally use here, and it runs 3,000 PSI, so it's a good size machine. That's when you get the good foam. When you start getting into the smaller, like residential units, these foamers don't work well. You're better off sticking with a PF22 at that point. Today I'm using Liquid X as the soap, and to select that side of the injector, all I have to do is go like that. So this thing's ready to rock and roll. Just a little bit of foam for the bit. It'd be interesting to try sort of a snub gun layout. Let's try it like this. This looks kind of cool. Now we got rinse here. So the only problem is, so my power washer's got a lot of pep behind it. It's got a lot of kicks. So like the offset, it wants to push away because it's not centered. Normally, like if you had your, let's say you had a single lance on there, or you just used it right here, then it's like right pushing into your hand. So I think that on a bigger machine, I would probably get fatigued using this on the rinse nozzle side. Yeah, I don't know. It wants to, you know, if I just hold it loosely, you know, it's, I mean, you could hold it with 2 hands. That's the only drawback with this layout that I see. The other thing I don't necessarily like is having this quick connect right here with the lance, because I'm finding that if I were working all day washing trucks or anything, I don't think I'd want all this play and to have this thing turning around in addition to this thing turning around. Too many quick disconnects here. So I would say piping this lance straight in here might be a much nicer experience. Let's try that, because I think that's worth a shot. Let's do this a little differently now. This should make a noticeable difference here. So you could just use Loctite 243 and move on, but it takes a minute to set up. That's why I use Teflon and then I go over it with this, just because I like both. I don't know. It's overkill, but that's what I'm all about. So now we're just gonna thread this in right here. Be sure to line up your hexagons. Even if they're way over there, you want them nice and square because you're gonna be staring at them. Now we got ourselves a nice hard-piped solution here. Okay, now this can feel success coming with this one. Now we're talking, right? Come on, look at this thing. This is becoming a weapon. This now feels good. Quick disconnects are also a failure point, so you don't want that. You want to eliminate as many of these as you can. That's why normally I don't even use these style here at this junction. Normally I use Q connects. So, I mean, you can put Q connects on this, and that would be really substantial. That would work way better. But yeah, this is now starting to feel right. Here we go. Oh, yeah. This I like. Right here, that I can get down with. Gotta hard pipe it in. That's the key to this layout. All right. Very nice. They tell me always work in straight lines. That's what I've heard from many people. So if you're gonna scratch the surface, better do it in straight lines than swirls. It'll show less. Oh, heck yeah, man. This thing is not bad. While we're playing with overkill, might as well do this. And now we're talking. What? I can do one better. Let's kick this up another notch. These quick disconnects suck. They get the job done for like nozzles and things like that, but man, they're just weak. It's just too flexible and wobbly, and I hate them. These right here, this is what you want. MTM Hydro's Q-Connect. This is a really nice thing. So this goes in the gun outlet, this piece right here, and then this covers it nicely. And then you just need a giant hex key to tighten it. We do have those. These are kind of hard to find actually. This is a male pipe thread, 1/4" thread Q plug. All right, let's tighten this on here. These are similar. They also have a hex key. See which one it is. It's probably metric. It's at least a 6. Oh yeah, 6mm right here. Get this junk QC off of here. QCs have their place, like on hoses and at the end of lances, like the end of this here, that's fine. But for some reason at this junction, they just don't last very long. You don't ever want this to leak again. And then the giant hex key, 14mm, made in the USA. And the hexagons are lined up.
Oh, would you
look at that. It doesn't flex. You don't want flex there. And what's nice about these Q fittings is that the O-ring sits around this plug instead of against the end like a QC would. So that's where the durability comes into play. So much better. I mean, just ridiculously more durable. I like it. Yeah, and this swivel's so much nicer too. Oh, this might be my new rig for my bay here. I kind of like this. This is fantastic. In conclusion, I would say this is the best way to work a mezzo valve. This is just my opinion. Of course, the main function that this valve is best at is the 2 foam cannons, you know, and then you set it aside and rinse with a different lance. But if you want a push button switch between foam and rinse system so you don't have to put anything down, if you're using one soap, or if you're using a real deal kit, that would work pretty well if you have the splitter back at the wall so you can use the 2 steps there. But this is pretty cool. I like this. This is a 2-foot length here with the mezzo valve, like 26.5 inches here with this extender piece on the end. We end up at about 32 inches of reach with this particular style. So this would be good for pickup trucks or cars, you know, detailers, motorcycles, things like that. That I could see working out pretty good. But if you're getting into bigger things, then you're gonna want a different length lance. Now this guy right here, this is even more optimal. This is basically my foam lance, but with a mezzo valve instead of the ST58. So that should be a little lower cost actually, and I think the durability might be even a hair better. So this one, we're looking at 38 inches, so a hair over 3 feet for this length. 3 feet is good for, you know, I mean, you can get most of the work done on a bobtail. You get into some trailers though, and it starts becoming a little harder to reach. For that, I slapped together a 4-footer. This one's 50 inches, so this will get you right up there. This will get you up there to most of the places you'd want to get. You know, you start getting up to the stacks, you know, you're gonna want to be able to reach up a little bit. and this is a little better for that. This pistol here, the SGS 35 from MTM Hydro, this thing impressed me. I like the blue, it's a nice color pop. Main thing is though, the swivel did work really well, especially under pressure, and I love their quick disconnect. This quick disconnect for a Q style quick disconnect seems very highly well made. Heck, let me know if you guys think I should turn these things into some kits. If you like them, I can make them available on my website. I think I might do it though. This is a good design, and I like this shorter one. That was pretty cool. But as a whole kit, you know, you get the pistol here, you get the lance, and the option to go different lengths. I don't know, this is pretty cool. I think I'll use this for a while in my own bay here just because this is a real nice layout. Maybe I'll put my light on one of these and kind of try this out for a while and see how it holds up. All right guys, we'll see you next time.